That's fucking delightful. Fucking delightful. Fucking good combination playing. Sliding balls into space. Good. Excellent. Get them on the fucking roll.
Hello everyone. Welcome to the ROKER RAPPORT podcast in association with the Sunderland Community Soup Kitchen. And wow, tonight Sunderland were mint against Portsmouth. I can't wait to start talking about this game. Just unbelievable performance. 1-2-0 away from home at Fratton Park. I think it's the first time we've won since 1997. Chris, you're the stato on this pod. You might be able to correct us if I'm wrong there, but it's been a long time, hasn't it, since we won? And I'm presuming you're very buzzing.
It was. I think it was Summerbee's debut, wasn't it? When we smashed them 4-1, I think it was. That was the last time we won down there. But just buzzing, mate. Absolutely amazing. Like I said, it's been going around the chat. Just one of the best all-round performances we've seen for I don't know how long. Just can't fault the lads tonight. Amazing.
Brilliant. Have you got the skin back, Matty? Was it that good?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, when you've just mentioned about 1997, I wasn't even born then. So that's how long it's been.
Mate, how are you?
Matty, man, be here, will you?
But
fuck off.
Obviously, they didn't even have a shot on target either. It was just a completely dominant performance. They're probably one of the best performances we've had this season, to be honest.
Oh, that's it on Twitter. It's probably the best I've seen Sunderland play in years. I mean, can you remember us playing as well as that in 90 minutes, Chris? When was the last time we played that well? I mean, probably. I was trying to think. We beat Palace under Moyes 4-0, but I think that was all in the first half. I just can't remember a start to finish, like, brilliant performance for a long time like that.
It's funny because for a piece, I watched a lot of that back recently and we were under the cosh for most of that. But like you say, even our big wins over the last 10 years, they've always been I remember Man City when we were kind of, camped an hour off for 90 minutes and then got a goal in the last minute. I mean, our big moments have always been even though we've been under pressure and tonight we were just on top from kickoff, and like I said, I can't remember the last time we were that much in control of a game against decent opposition as well.
Yeah. I mean, well, decent in terms of league position, some good players, but I just think we were just the better team by a mile tonight. Yeah. Totally outclassed them. The goals. I mean, the first goal. Once again, you've got to sort of look at it and think Mcguire's contribution to that goal was just a bit of creative play. He does his man on the left side, drops a shoulder, does the step over as he does, shoots from a ridiculous angle, makes the keeper, save the ball, turns it over for a corner. Jordan Jones then steps over the ball, puts an absolute peach of a cross into the box, and Charlie White just once again gets on the end of it. It's like he's got a magnet in his head, isn't it? To make it 1-0. And then the second goal.
Wow.
Just wow. I mean, the Sky cameras didn't even keep up with it. They were too busy showing something else. And then all of a sudden, Jones is out on the right wing, chipping it over the keeper, and you're like, what the fuck just happened there? And then they show it back, and it's probably the most, the one goal in all of Johnson's time that's indicative of the way he's got the players playing, because Jones presses them to the point where they concede possession in a really dangerous area. And I mean, the angle he scores from is ridiculous. He chips the keeper from sort of like a 45-degree angle, doesn't he? Just brilliant. Honest, I've spent all day today panicking, worrying, reading stuff, shitting myself, thinking I shouldn't, playing well at the minute. I can't see us playing as well as we have done tonight because these are a good team. Shit myself, what if we lose? What if we fuck up? What if we don't take advantage of results elsewhere? Honest, all those fears went out the window tonight. Just this is a different animal. I think this is the first. This is the time to put your finger on it and say this team can get promoted because they're now playing convincingly, winning convincingly, keeping clean sheets with us. We say it every week. A defensive, it's just patched up. Yet we're keeping clean sheets. They're no mugs with the forward line they've got, and another clean sheet.
No, you were right.
Ran out of superlatives.
There weren't any mugs. I mean, first 10 minutes, like you say, first 10 minutes were working each other out. I mean, either side were kind of, they were hedging our bets. It was quite cagey first 10 minutes. But like you said, that one bit of magic from Mcguire, and I was up. I thought it was going flying in the top corner from Mcguire.
It was a great save, actually, wasn't it?
But it all came from that. I mean, the whole game came from that one piece of magic that kind of changed the game. And after that, it was just our confidence just went kind of sky high, and that was it. Game over, really.
Yeah, right. Let's bang through some 3-word reviews. For once, I'm really looking forward to getting into these individual sort of breakdowns of the performances because everybody was mint tonight. The 3-word reviews, and let's go through some of these. I think I said to you, Matty, before we came on air, we'd had something 140 replies. I think there's probably more there now. 160. So sorry, everyone, we can't get through all of them. But it just shows how much enthusiasm people have got for the performance. They all want to interact. Tim Mitchell, he says 2 points away. Lee Ingram, cowbell wanker. Niall, 3 points. Richard Darwin, McFadden was decent. Connor, we are massive. Connor, yes, we are. Steve Reed says absolutely fucking brilliant. James Fox says stuffed them scum. Richard Darwin says Jordan Jones joy. Richard, that's your second one. How have I let you in twice? Akko says every player outstanding. MG88 says complete footballing performance. Rob says we have lift off. TV Macram says on our way. Phil Smith says in control throughout. Gavin Evans says bring on Wembley. Jason Beattie says Jones is delightful. Sack Randolph says Champions League soon. Well, David Hamblin says who fancies pizza. Paul Wilson says weird feeling calm. Dave Bryan says big 3 points. And I'm going to end on this one. Glenn Foster says 2 trophy season. Brilliant. Yeah, we haven't even... I don't even want to think about Sunday yet. Let's just pour all of our energy into today's performance because it deserves it. We'll go straight to the player ratings. And the goalkeeper, Matty, I'm going to give him to you because the other day I said I wanted Burge because he played well, but he had nothing to do today. So you can have the boring one.
Yeah, I think, again, we've got to compliment him. I think he didn't have a shot to save, but I think what he did do, he showed good composure. And I think now he's got 16 clean sheets, which again is a respectable figure. But I think most importantly, I'm glad we've sort of put to bed this goalkeeping debate. You know, we had that spell mid-season where we were like, is it going to be Matthews or Burge, or do we need Patterson? And then now Burge has been consistent. When he is called upon, he's making saves. And I think he's put a bit of trust back into Sunderland fans that he is the number one. So I guess I'd have to give him a 7 tonight because what he did well. Yeah,
he was... I think he's sort of playing out from the back and stuff was good tonight if I was going to compliment him on anything, but really had nothing to do. Chris, you can have Callum McFadden. This guy deserves a bit of credit tonight. We've panned him enough.
Yeah, I was shocked.
He deserves a bit.
I thought you were going to start with Max Power and someone else could have McFadden, but I'll go for McFadden. Honestly, I mean, I thought first half. I mean, it started 5 minutes in when he played a dodgy ball across the back to Sanderson. And I thought, oh, Christ, here we go again, McFadden, just see him again. And I reckon in that first half, he was struggling against Williams that first half. He was really struggling. And I actually think they were targeting him in the first half. They were just going for McFadden. Everything was down there right. Long balls were aimed at McFadden. They were basically peppering him. And he was kind of struggling at times. I think Williams had him, basically. And I mean, at that time when he cut inside, played Marquis in, and they could have well had a penalty if the referee hadn't been kind of on the ball with Marquis tripping over his feet. And he got better in the second half. And it's I'm going to sound awful, but it's a McFadden 8 or 9 for McFadden. But I think on the grand scheme of things, he was a 7 because I just think iffy first half.
Very nearly got a very good assist for if Charlie White could put it in the net.
He did, yeah.
He did, yeah.
And I like how he got away with an elbow in the first minute because one of their players sent, I can't remember who it was, they sent one of ours up height, and probably 30 seconds later the ball comes in the air and he just sticks the elbow on Marquis. I like that because it was giving one back. You know what I mean?
There was a bit in the first half as well where he didn't know where the ball was and it was right next to him and he was actually running away from the ball, looking in the opposite direction. So I can't give him any higher than a 7. He did well. It's McFadden. He did well, but he didn't at the same time.
Do you know what I liked about him though, Chris, tonight? Him and McGeady for once linked up really well. He'd done a lot of the running for McGeady down the left, so took the defender out the way for McGeady to cut inside. I think McGeady is most dangerous when that happens, when the overlapping fullback takes the defender out the game and he can just move inside and do what he wants. Yeah. Tonight it was as though McFadden, it just clicked like, all right, this is the best way to play with Aidan McGeady if I do this for him. So yeah, I guess on the McFadden scale, Bomber said this at the weekend, we have a different scale maybe for McFadden. I think it was quite a good mark for him tonight. So yeah, that was probably one of his better games in a Sunderland shirt, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, Luke O'Nien is me. He got man the match on the telly. Lee Hendry gave him. By the way, Lee Hendry absolutely loved us tonight. Like, never stopped licking our ass. It would be like a simple pass 5 yards. We'd be like, oh, it just shows how Lee Johnson's got them playing at the minute. I would smash someone up the height. Oh, that's because Lee Johnson's changed the mentality. He just fucking loved us tonight. But Luke O'Nien, yeah, he got man the match on the telly. I don't think I would give him man the match, but he was brilliant. What you've got to do is try and compartmentalise how difficult it must be for Lee Johnson at the minute trying to pick a team when you have no fit defenders. And then you've got Luke O'Nien who just puts his hand up, says, I can play there. And every single game he's got better. Today he was brilliant. He played up against probably one of the best target men in the division in Marquis, who done nothing. Absolutely nothing. And O'Nien didn't let him. You know what I mean? He was brilliant in the air. He's probably had 4 inches on O'Nien the night. Yet his leap was outstanding. He won every header. And what I like about O'Nien is he doesn't fanny around with the ball when he defends. He just heads it away. He kicks it away. You know what I mean? It's like watching an old school defender. I give him a 9. I give him a 9. I think he was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. In the end, he'll be playing there on Sunday, I would imagine, because why would you take him out of the defence at the minute? Just outstanding. Dion Sanderson, Matty, he's yours.
Yeah, I don't think Sanderson was as standout as he has been in recent games. It was still an excellent performance in terms of, obviously, they had no shots on target. Marquise was quiet. I think if you wanted to be really sceptical, you could perhaps criticise him for lashing out and getting a silly yellow card. But I think that would be being harsh and being picky. But overall, I'd give him a 7. I just thought he was solid and was part of a really good defence.
Yeah. He was. I agree with you. I don't think it was one of his better performances. There was a couple of hairy moments, free kicks he gave away, etc. But on the whole, just great. Yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult to criticise Sanderson. Really, he does nothing much wrong, does he?
Well, that's it. You just said, like that for Sanderson. He made a couple of mistakes and that, and he still looked a class above, didn't he?
Yeah.
Even though he made a
100%.
couple of wobblers, but he still looked a class above. I was just going to ask though quickly. We've just done the 2 centre halves. That we've conceded something like 3 in the last 7 league games, something stupid like that. I mean, are these 2 now our first choice centre halves? I mean, would you, if Bailey Wright came back and you were the manager, would you be like, well, how can I change it at the back now?
I think he'd certainly have to wait because these guys have worked so hard, especially, Sanderson didn't get a sniff. He's worked so hard to nail down this place. I think they both deserve it because if they're performing, why do you need to make a change?
And they've built up a partnership. They played like 4 or 5 games on the belt together now. They've built up a partnership. They're keeping clean sheets. Why would you change it? Really? I mean, we have no choice on Sunday. He has to change it, obviously.
Yeah.
But the next league game against Accrington, no, I wouldn't change it even if Bailey Wright was fit. And that's probably it's probably like a bit reassuring for Johnson too because he doesn't have to worry about throwing Wright back in when he might not be completely fit enough. Just keep it as it is. Why not? Going into today, and I know that Curtis didn't start the game and Harness didn't start the game, but I looked at their front 3 and I thought, this might be a bit of a test for these 2 at the back. Honest, absolutely flawless. Like just John Marquis for a striker who's scored so many goals at this level, they didn't give him a sniff. He just dove about. He just dove all over the place, trying to win daft free kicks, penalties because he just couldn't get the better of them. So, I agree. Why would you change it? Okay, Max Power, I think that's you, Chris.
So I remember speaking to you, Gav, earlier in the season about Max Power, and I remember us talking about how he looked like he'd forgot what type of player he was, and he'd lost all his confidence in midfield. He couldn't pass it short, he couldn't pass it long, he wasn't winning the ball back.
Yeah.
And he's just like a new player. I mean, I don't know what Lee Johnson's done to him. I don't know if it's just confidence or whether he likes playing right back and being right back's given him a new lease of life there. But he just looks comfortable on the ball. His first touch, he just looks like he knows what he's doing again and he's got his confidence back. I thought he was absolutely brilliant. He led the team as well, though. First time for a while, I think we've had a proper captain. Someone who's really. And I know Ledbetter's been there, and I think Ledbetter leads more by doing stuff on the pitch rather than a fist pump and all that sort of stuff.
Do you know what it is, Chris? Though when you hear Ledbetter, I don't want to be mean about the lad, but like when you hear Max Power talk, you want somebody who's a big voice.
He's more of a presence.
Got a bit of yeah. I know Ledbetter. He got a lot of praise for being a big leader at Middlesbrough, but I don't know if it's just me. I just don't see it with Ledbetter.
Yeah. But he's got that kind of he gets that respect. Whereas Max Power, you can see on the pitch tonight. He had that kind of fist pump in him, and like the players were responding to it as well. And he was kind of giving, back slaps when things were going right. And he was just kind of a captain that we've been crying out for quite a while tonight. And Max Power's he's just growing into that type of player. And, kind of all credit to him for kind of turning it around, because he looked awful at times earlier in the season. So I've got him as an 8 tonight. I thought he's great. Yeah,
he's become the ultimate team player, a bit like Luke 9, really. 1 week he's playing centre mid, 1 week he's playing right back. Doesn't faze him. He just gets on with it. Yeah, and centre off, exactly. Yeah, he just gets on with it.
Yeah.
That was a big critic of his earlier in the season, and I think rightly so. He was poor under Parkinson, but he's really bought into Johnson. You can just tell, because his performances on the pitch are reflecting in it. Carl Winchester, I think that's mine. That's his best game in a Sunderland shirt tonight. If it hadn't have been for the fact that there were probably 4 or 5 really good performances, he could have been a man in the match tonight, but just brilliant. The way he sprayed the ball about at times was outstanding, and what I like about Winchester, he looks up and he goes forward. Just great. I'm really happy with how he played. So I would probably say Winchester 8 out of 10 tonight.
Yeah, he actually looked like Winnie Esther that we were told about.
Do you know what it is? I think what's happened with Winchester is, obviously, he's been very gradually introduced into the team. When he's came into the team, he's been in for 1 game and out. And the problem is, when you're a new player especially, how can you really show what you can do when you're only getting like 60 minutes and then being brought off and then not starting the next game? We've sort of been forced into playing him, and he's now shown what he can do. He's a decent player. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say he's the second coming of Xavi or anything, but he's definitely a decent player. So yeah, 8 out of 10 for him. Josh Scowen, I think that's you, Matty.
Yeah, I think Josh Scowen, I think he's often a bit of an unsung hero at times, because he does all the industrious, dirty work, like the pressing, winning the ball back. You don't really see him too much going forward, but I think his role is integral in that respect. And when the team's breaking away, he'll run back, intercept. He's got that tidy passing, great on the press. And I just think he's one of those, he probably won't do a lot in the game that'll make you say wow, but I think he is an important member of the team. So I give him a 7 tonight. I thought he was excellent.
Yep.
Just to give an example, Matty, of what you were saying there, it was 94th, 95th minute. It was right at the final whistle, and the ball went out to Mcguire, I think, on the right-hand side. And Josh Scowen made about a 30, 40-yard run in behind the back 4 in the 94th minute. And that's what Josh Scowen was like all night.
Yeah, he's just relentless. He'd never stop. So he's from that whistle, when he comes off the pitch, he's all out work rate and defending, trying for the team.
Yeah. But he compliments Winchester, bang on, like you said, Gav. Winchester does the neat and tidy stuff. Scowen kind of he's like a terrier at people's heels, and I think they complement each other.
Ed McGeady, Chris?
I mean, he started everything off. It's funny because he doesn't seem to try to go back and beat people as many times as he used to. He seems to have more, and don't get us wrong, he's always had an end product, but he went through a real long patch where he tried to keep beating people again and then going back and beating people again. And now he's just beating people once, getting half a yard, and every time he gets the ball, he's got an end product. I mean, whether the keeper's making a save, cross into the box, just every time he's got the ball, something's going to come at the end of it. It's not just going to be what he does on the ball, but we're going to get something from it, or be in a better position when he kind of gives away possession in whatever way. But I've got him as a 9. I thought he started everything off. I thought he was brilliant. I thought he was behind everything we were doing earlier on, him and Jones. And I think you can see, even when they're on opposite sides of the pitch, him and Jones are looking for each other.
Yeah.
Kind of switching the play, and I just can't wait to see them. For the rest of the season, I'm kind of looking forward to watching them again. Brilliant.
Yeah, I think his defensive work deserves a bit of praise tonight as well. He was in at the left back position quite a lot, filling in and stuff. Just different player under this manager.
He needs to be when he's got McFadden behind him.
Yeah. Aidan O'Brien, I'm just going to be very quick with this one. Give him a 6. If we were talking about the worst player in the team tonight, probably him, because he didn't really do much. Jones, Matty, that's yours.
I think the simple thing is we need to sign this player. I think he was just an absolute joy to watch. I mean, the burst of pace and the confidence he has with dribbling, you don't see that at League One level. Like,
Nah.
I can't remember the last time I watched a Sunderland team where we had wingers with the ability to just take people on and make things happen. It's just so good. I thought his crossing tonight was brilliant. Every time he put balls in, they were dangerous. He obviously crossed it in for Wyke. I mean, then the finish, you mentioned it earlier, the pressing, excellent, and the chip. I mean, you don't see that at this level. You know, the confidence, the arrogance to even try it, and the way he did it, it was just brilliant. And I think already I've made my mind up that I want us to keep him. I just think he's an excellent player. And if, you know, obviously getting ahead, but if we were to go up, I could easily see him being someone who could excel at that level as well. I gave him a 9 tonight.
I give him a 10. I've actually written down I wrote down the perfect performance, best individual performance of the season. Bearing in mind, Mcguire got 4 assists in one game. Charlie White scored 4 goals in one game. That's some going, really. I just think overall he and he played against Charlie Daniels, who's just dropped out the Premier League, so he's not a mug. Jones was brilliant, just outstanding. Didn't do a thing wrong. Every cross was with purpose. The goal he scored, outstanding. The assist he got, outstanding. Just what
his
a player.
work rate.
Yeah.
Work rate was unreal. But down both flanks, him and McGeady, their work rate, unbelievable.
Yeah. Chris, you get Charlie Wyke.
First off, I mean, I don't know why, but he went a bit quiet second half. But first off, I think is the best 45 minutes Charlie Wyke's had in the Sunderland strip. Absolutely brilliant. I thought he held the ball up. He won every time, and it's funny because I was one of his biggest critics earlier in the season, because whenever the ball went within a 10-yard radius of him earlier in the season, you just knew he wasn't going to battle for it. He just kind of gave it up. And tonight, whenever the ball was anywhere near him, he was after it. He wanted it. And I don't know what Lee Johnson's said to him or done to him, but he's put a rocket up his arse because he's now battling for those balls. Yeah. The way he was holding it up, I mean, that free kick that went against him just before half time was kind of summed up how he's battling for us.
Yeah.
And he's that complete forward that you need when you've got that one up front. And all round game, holding it up, a goal, laying it off, winning the ball back when he had no right to. Absolutely superb first half, and purely for that, I mean, he went a bit quiet second half, but I've got him as a 9. I thought he was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue with that. Well, right, okay, I'll quickly blast through these substitutes. Tom Flanagan, very lucky not to give away a penalty.
Very lucky.
I give
on pen that.
Yeah, but so fuck. Give him a 5. Chris Mcguire came on and just wasted a bit of time. Won us some free kicks. I gave him a 6. Gooch hard to mark him. He was only on a few minutes. Matty, right? Who was your man of the match then? Because it's difficult tonight, I think.
I think, like you said earlier, there's a lot of contenders tonight, but it has to go to Jordan Jones, doesn't it? I mean, he was just a class above.
Yeah, I'm the same. Jones. What about you, Chris?
Well, since you've both gone for Jones, I'm going to give it to a 9, because I thought I just thought it looked easy at the back, but I'm sure if you ask him and Sanderson tonight after the game, they'll say they had a real kind of tough game. It's just they were so good that Portsmouth just looked quiet. I thought he was absolutely brilliant on 9.
Yeah. Well, it's another 3 points. That's us top of the form table still. We don't play again till we take on Accrington next Wednesday. Accrington doing fairly well, I would say. But in terms of the league, I mean, you look at us, we're 4th. We're on 60 points. We're 5 points behind Hull with 2 games in hand. We are 2 points behind Peterborough in 2nd place. Fuck it, we're getting promoted. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Big statement tonight, wasn't it? Big statement. We're going up playing like this, and that's what I'm ending on tonight. We're playing brilliantly. We're in great form. The morale's high. We're playing good football. We've still got some good players to come back from injury. Yeah, fuck it, we're going up. See you all later.